Hello and welcome back. My name is Roya, and if you're new here, I bring you short, accessible yoga sequences to help you incorporate more yoga into your life. Today's class is going to be a nice flow to really get into the hips. We'll get into some really juicy hip openers. It's great if you're an athlete, a runner, or a cyclist, or really anyone. If you sit for a long time during the day, it's nice to get some movement in the hips, and you'll feel great after this. Let's start in a child's pose. Turn towards the front of your mat, bring your knees wide, and just rest your upper body down, reaching your arms forward. Settle into your breath. Let your belly relax and drop towards the floor. Feel that spot where your forehead is contacting the mat and feel like you're just sinking into the ground. If this is uncomfortable in your hips in any way, feel free to prop yourself up on blocks or pillows. Just take a moment to settle into your practice. Arrive here today. On your next inhale, rise on up to tabletop. Before we get started, let's get into a little wrist and forearm stretch. Rotate your hands 180 degrees so your fingers are pointing backwards towards your knees. You can bring your knees as close or as far away as is comfortable for your wrists. This is pretty tight for me, so I like to get close. Keep a nice little bend in your elbows and feel that stretch through your forearms. Take this to whatever depth where you feel your edge. Good, let's come back up to a regular tabletop. Fingers point forward. And let's move through some cat and cows to get warmed up. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, roll forward, cat pose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Move through these at your own pace. You can maybe add some additional movement side to side, front to back if that feels good, or just stay in a traditional cat-cow. Good, come back to neutral. Tuck your toes, move your hips one hand distance forward, and send your hips back into downward facing dog. Keep a nice bend in your legs. Maybe walking your feet back and forth, getting into the hips and hamstrings. Press through the index fingers and palms. Externally rotating your upper arms, feeling a broadness in your upper back and a broadness in your low back as your hips extend towards the back wall. Inhale and lift your right foot high into a split. Bend the knee and rotate your hip open, getting into the hip flexors, and also a nice little side bend. I'll take that knee and just rotate it in big circles. Now rotate the knee in the other direction, opposite circles. Good, come back up to center, down dog split. And exhale, step or place your right foot at the top of your mat. Good. Plant your back foot down at a 45-degree angle like a warrior 2 foot. Keep your hands on the floor though. Walk your hands over to the left and then drape your body down. Your upper body's at a 45-degree angle relative to your mat.
keep drawing the right hip into the midline. And then just let your upper body drape down. Press through your arms as if you're in a down dog. And remain planted and steady in your lower body. Good. Walk your hands back up to center. Frame your front foot. Readjust your feet so they're in line and rise on up to warrior two. Take a few deep inhales and exhales to settle into this pose. Feel the strength of your legs and the opening of your hips. Draw in through your belly a little bit. Engage your core to tuck your tailbone under. Inhale, reach back, humble warrior. And exhale, windmill your arms all the way to the back of your mat, rotating your feet forward, bending into your left foot into this bit of a Cossack squat in the back of your mat. If you have the range of motion and want to go further, you can lift your right toes up and drop your hips down to your heel. Maybe plant your left arm and reach your right arm high to the sky. Really engage that right quad to protect the knee from hyperextending. Good, plant your hands down. Come up into a wide-legged forward fold. Hands planted on the ground, flat back. Plant your right arm, right hand, and then inhale again, your right arm to the sky into a twist. Exhale back down, plant your right hand. Exhale, left hand to the sky, twisting. Exhaling back down. And walk your hands back up to frame your front foot. Sweep that right foot back into a down dog split. Rotate the hip open. And this time, look forward. Shift your shoulders a little bit forward, about halfway to your wrists. And then tip over to your left, coming onto the blade edge of your left foot, planting your right foot down. Reach your right arm high into a wild thing. Let your head drop. Inhale, reach your right arm high. And exhale, plant it back at the top of your mat, returning back into down dog split. Exhale, draw your knee into your nose. Rotate that hip open and plant your knee down, coming into a pigeon. We'll take a few breaths here. If your right upper thigh is hovering off of the ground, put something underneath that thigh to make it more comfortable. Staying upright, look forward, take a big inhale. And exhale, just drape over that upper leg. Relax your head down. You can plant it on stack fists or on your hands or the mat. On every exhale, try to relax into your hip. This is a really good place to just feel sensation and sit with that sensation, giving the body some time to adapt and open up those hips. Good. Rise up, plant your hands, and step back into downward facing dog. Take a couple clearing breaths here before we do the other side. Good. Inhale your left foot skyward, down dog split. Exhale, roll that hip open, bending the knee. Exhale, coming into big hip circles with that knee. Moving in one direction. Doesn't matter which one. Because now we'll switch and rotate the other direction. Good. Inhale back to center. Extend, down dog split. Exhale, step the left foot to the top of the mat. Plant the back foot at a 45-degree angle. Walk your upper body out at a 45 relative to your mat. Press into those arms like you're in a down dog, and then let the rest of your body just drape down towards the floor. Really pressing strongly through the outer edge of your right foot. Really engaging the left hip to bring it towards the midline. Good. Walk your hands back to frame your front foot. Realign your feet so they're in line with each other. And inhale up into Warrior Two again. Maybe take a couple breaths to sink into the depth of this pose that feels good today. Drawing the belly in, tucking the tailbone under, extending your arms wide and strong. Inhale, flip your front palm to reverse warrior. Sweep your arms down, bring them to the back of your mat. Bending into the right leg, straightening your left leg out. Again, if it feels good, flipping your left toes up to the sky, bending deeper into your right hip. Plant your right hand down, sweep your left arm to the sky. Good, bring your hands down, straighten your legs. So you're in a bit of a wide leg forward fold. Plant your left hand again, inhale, twist right. Plant your right hand down, twist left. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Pivot forward, frame your front foot. And back into down dog split. Sweep that left leg high and back. Open that hip up. Inhale, shift forward a little bit. Tip on over to the blade edge of your right foot. Tip toes of your left foot. Sweep your left hand overhead into a wild thing. Send your hips up towards the sky. Push strong into that right arm. Plug your shoulder blade into your back. One more deep breath. And exhale, rotate back over, plant your hand, come back into your down dog split. Exhale, draw that left foot forward into a pigeon pose. Take a moment to make this comfortable. You want to feel sensation, but make it a sensation that you can sit with for a few breaths. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, fold over your front leg, resting your head wherever feels good. Take a few breaths to sink and relax here. Try to lengthen your exhales, and on every exhale, sink deeper into the pose. And your next inhale, rise up, plant your hands again, and push back into downward facing dog. Good, release down onto your knees. Set your hip backs onto your feet. Take a minute to feel all the work you've done and all of the opening in your hips. See how your body might feel different after that sequence. Make your way onto your back. And we'll close out with a spinal twist. Pull your right knee into your chest, give it a big hug. And exhale, draw it across your body into a gentle twist. Maybe gaze over at your right hand. Good, inhale back to center. Switch your legs. Hug your left knee in. Give it a big squeeze. And exhale, draw it to your right. Extending the left arm. Maybe gazing over to the left hand. Feel your upper back broaden against the floor as your knee lands wherever feels good. Inhale back up to center and extend both legs out. Extend your arms out. Coming in to Shavasana, our final resting pose. Let's take a few breaths here. Feel the quiet and stillness in your body after doing an active moving practice like we just did. Sometimes we need to move to allow our bodies to be able to relax fully. We can feel that contrast between the effort and the ease. You can stay here as long as you like, or start to get some movement in your ankles and wrists, and rotate over onto one side. Then use your hands to press your body back up, right? Coming into a seated position. I hope you feel so good after this practice. I know I do. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to my channel. I release new videos every Monday. I hope to see you next week.